welcome to another video. Today we will create some procedural text animation in Blender with Geometrynodes. For this you need an experimental build of Blender which allows simulations inside of Geometrynodes. The link is in the video description. Okay, so let's start. First I'm adding a string to curves node to create a text element. I'm centering my text. And I'm increasing the distance between the letters. Let's fill our curves. And then we have to realize our objects because they are instances. Now let's distribute some points on them. And let's raise the density. I will make my text a bit bigger so we have more points. Also, this gives us more space to move our particles later. Now I want to offset my points vertically because right now they are all lying flat on one layer. I am using a random vector for this. And I only want to move them on the z-axis. With the scale node you can fine-tune the value a bit. Let's create a group out of this. And let's add some inputs. First let's control the string and the density to an input. So now let's create our simulation network. We need a simulation input and an output. And right now nothing happens when we play it back. So first I want to assign some random direction vectors to each point. We will use a named attribute to store our direction vector. Let's name it dir for direction and let's assign a random value. Now let's add some objects to visualize our geometries or our points. I will create some simple arrow shapes out of a cube and a cone. Now that we have our shapes, it's time to assign our direction vector. We will use a rotate instances node for this. And we will align the rotation to the vector by using an align Euler to vector node. And we will align it to the z-axis because our points or our instance geometries are pointing to the z direction by default. And now when we play back our simulation, our points have some random directions. Now let's make our points move. For this we will use a z position node. And we will first assign a new named attribute, which is called velocity. And we will give it a default value of 0.1. And we will simply multiply or scale our direction vector with our velocity value to create the movement of our objects. And now, as you can see, our points are moving based on their direction vector. Let's clean up our node tree a bit. I am adding some frames. And I'm giving them some logical names. Now let's duplicate our text object. So we have a target for our points to move to. And to have a target, we need position vectors where they can move to. And for this we will use a sample index node. This allows us to sample an attribute from a different geometry based on the current index of our point or of our simulated point. So we will sample the position of the second text object by the index of our original point cloud. Now, currently nothing happens, since we need to modify our direction vector so they move towards these points. For this we will use our position value and the vector math node. We will set it to subtract, and we will subtract our current position from the sampled position. Then we need to normalize our vector. And then we will mix this vector with our current direction attribute. And the factor of our mix node defines how quickly our points will turn. Let's also normalize this vector output just to be sure. And then we will store a named attribute on our geometry. This will basically override the already existing one. Also name it direction. And let's connect our new direction there. I will add a frame to keep our node tree clean. As you can see, our objects now move to their target. Don't forget to turn on run simulation, otherwise it might use a cached version of your simulation. Let's add an input parameter for our turn factor. And let's change the text from our target object. And as you can see, our points now form the text of the target object. Let's add a mix node to mix between our two shapes. And let's add an input parameter for this too. When it's set to 0, it will form our first text. And if we move it to 1, our points will form the second text. Right now there's one issue here. The n is missing. Our first point cloud doesn't have enough points to adapt to the points of the second point cloud. For this we will need to distribute more points on the first point cloud. But this also results in another problem. If there are more points in the initial point cloud than in the sampled point cloud where they should move to, the points can't sample a position. So then they will just move to 0. And that's what's happening here with the points that move in the center of the A. They're just rotating around the center point of our scene. But we can fix this. To visualize this behavior a bit better, I moved our text objects on the y-axis. And here you can see that all the points that cannot find an index on the targeted geometry are simply moving around the center point of the scene because they cannot sample a position. And to fix this, we can simply wrap our index value. So for this, we will first need an attribute statistic node, and then get the maximum index of our geometry. So we get the maximum amount of points that are in there. And this makes sure that every point of our initial point cloud gets a sampled point from the other point cloud assigned. Downside is that sometimes points will share the same position. This could be also fixed or changed by adding a random position offset per point. So let's change the instance shape here. I'm just using a simple cube. I'm also adding an input parameter for the seed of our text object, because the seed randomizes our distributed points. Okay, now it's time to calculate the velocity of our points. So they move faster when they are far away from their target and slower when they reach their target. For this, we will use a distance vector math node, and we will calculate the distance between the sampled position and our current position. I am using a map range to define where our objects accelerate and where they decelerate. So when they are very close to their target, they should decelerate, and when they are far away from their target, they should accelerate. So I'm adding a negative value to the minimum and a positive to the maximum. And the range min and max defines the distance where they accelerate or where they decelerate. And then I'm adding this value to our current velocity. We need to clamp this value to a minimum and maximum value. Otherwise they would accelerate to infinity. Make sure to set the minimum value of the clamp not to 0, otherwise our particles would simply stop. I'm also adding parameters to control it from our Geometrynodes modifier. And now we can assign our new velocity value to our simulation network. Okay, right now this is exploding. Now it's about tweaking the values. I increased the size of the text to 10, so we have a bit more space for our points to move. Otherwise, we would have to deal with very small values for the acceleration and deceleration, and also for the distance. And it is starting to look good. I'm not really happy with this, but it's getting somewhere. At this point, it's all about tweaking the values to find the right balance between acceleration, deceleration, and the turn factor. Okay, this looks good, but maybe let's adjust the deceleration a bit. Now let's raise the minimum distance from the branch node. And yeah, this looks much better. So right now when they are very close to the target, they won't really move anymore. But there's still some slight motion, which makes it interesting. And that's how you can create some kinetic particle text animation in Blender with Geometrynodes. If you want to render this animation, you will need to set your animation output to cache. So it uses the previous simulation as a cache. It's basically the same as the particle cache in normal particle simulations in Blender. You can get my final result from the video description below. Bye!